First time we've seen the Force in this series so far. What's going on? It's your boy Syntell with the Intel, and you can already see Rekkai is in the building. What's going on, champion?
Hello, Governor.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. We got our third batch of Andor coming in. I like what they're doing with these 3 in a row, and I can certainly understand why they're doing it like this with Andor. It's some very dense material, and I don't know if a week to week would work on a series like this. Regardless, we are here to soak it all in. Rekkai, how you been feeling so far?
I feel like we're getting a big heaping plate of mid, so let's hope the second half of the season can turn it around.
Listen, I hear that, and I'm glad that we have a very good conversation regarding the pros and cons, and I want to make sure that you all know that we will be chopping it up at the end of this reaction to let you all know how we feel about it. So, without any further ado, let's get started. They are not shy about skipping in time.
Hey, listen.
2 years before the Battle of Yavin.
You are clear for open pad 1.
Copy, Sarah. 011.
Well, we know, like we said, we have very few episodes left to play into, because this has got to slide right into Rogue One.
Yeah.
Look, Yavin Rebel Base. You're talking about 1 year later. That means Mon Mothma got to be here.
Yeah.
She done got on her pretty dresses no more. They got a whole rebel base. That means we're a year after what all the stuff that was going on Gorman. That's little buddy that was with Saw Gerrera, right?
Yeah. He's the one that let whatever that machine does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he looked like he was getting high off of that, whatever that is. Yeah, brother. That's what happens when you get past 40.
Mm.
Welcome.
Turn around.
I'm gonna be late.
What's more important?
So, listen, you trying to get my shirt off. We're going to be late. You fooling me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can't get any proper rebelling done with you doing this.
Yeah. You got that scrunchie for your hair?
What are you gonna do?
Anything I want.
Hey,
See?
Oh, see,
See?
yup.
Told you.
I can come back.
Don't you dare.
I said, boy, you got wonderfully horrible timing. Huh? Beat your ass.
When did you get back?
Just now.
Not what you was about to do, but
It's alright, I've got it.
Back from where?
You're in there.
This is here. I'm asking you where you were.
Just got in.
She's been more worried about you than I have.
Thanks.
Where were you?
Ethan wants to know if you're ready to work.
Come on, man. You know the name of this game. Come on.
Ready for what?
He knows you were hurt.
He said, Ethan?
He's been trying to reach you.
Ready for what?
He just wants to know if he can count on you.
Well, he's not making it easy.
Whose fault is that?
Oh, Luthen, not Ethan. Okay.
You trust this place? All these people? New faces every day?
We need an army. Everything's a risk.
All we do here is get ready. Luthen is making things happen.
Easy. What do you want, Will? You want to fight?
except all the Kool-Aid.
Going it alone doesn't cut it anymore.
Maybe you should tell him yourself.
Maybe you should tell us where you've been.
The continued and inexplicable Gorman resistance to imperial norms. Terrorism strikes again in Gorman. There was a firebombing last night at the naval terminal in Palmo.
The number of imperial casualties is still
They are
unknown.
running a full propaganda.
All these side runs. That's what you've been doing.
It's being destroyed.
He must be thrilled. He's wanted it long enough. Dragging you out there. For what? Help him torch the place?
It's not like that. It's the Empire with the torches. They've gone insane.
So, what does he need me for?
ISB Supervisor Dedramiro. She destroyed Ferrix. She killed my father. You know her?
Want to kill your mama.
She's there in Gorman. In the open, I've seen her. She's there now, and she's there waiting to be killed. And I know you're gonna say it's for revenge, but it's not.
He knew the right carrot.
She's been coming after him, and you, and all of us, and everyone we know. She's just sitting there, Cass. She keeps winning. You know she has to be stopped.
I'm late for my briefing. You need to calm down and check in.
You act like Luthen's the enemy.
That would be easier.
Assassination.
Dang.
She's a monster.
You wouldn't have a better chance.
As a monster. And that's so short-sighted. She's a
Yeah, but they
cog
can't really
in the
judge
wheel.
him. They literally last episode just got their lick back and blew up an entire building. So I mean,
Yeah, but people rationalize a whole lot of things. That was a year ago. It's like,
look, you're like, why you bringing up old stuff?
yeah. It's like, wasn't nobody even there.
Director Krennic's still with him now, but they wanted me to pass along the affirmative message to you immediately.
We are moving forward with the original plan.
There is apparently no suitable replacement or synthetic alternative for the Gorman substrate material.
I see.
It's not for lack of effort. Krennic's had the lab in Edu working overtime all year. I don't know the science, but it's bad luck, Gorman. We need what's in the ground, and when we're done, there won't be much left to call home.
When?
The fleet will be fully positioned in 48 hours. They're fiddling with the calendar, but to commence a fully forced resettlement that fits Krennic's schedule.
We'll need a declaration of martial domain as soon as possible.
She's in a little room, a secret room.
Captain Kaido is arriving today.
He's here. He's outside my office. Who is he?
He is a crisis specialist.
So this booth thing.
Personnel to help manage the situation.
What I need now is some clarity on how exactly...
Let the image of professional ascendant settle your nerves.
Know your role.
Watch your tone.
Watch your tone.
Captain Kaido knows the objective. He will answer to you operationally. The tactical details, however, will be at his discretion.
You're aware, sir, that the insurgents have weapons at this point.
We're counting on it.
I'll say that, yeah.
That's what they want. They gotta make a spectacle of them.
There's evidence of outside agitators.
You serious? That is what I've been trying to do since I got here. That is what you told me you wanted, and now there's evidence I have to beg for?
We are trying to prevent an incident.
By keeping me in the dark.
Too much of a hound dog.
What am I doing here?
Cyril, please. You need to go home and pack and be ready to leave when I tell you.
That looked legit.
Good things are waiting for us.
Oh.
We'll be back in Coruscant. We'll be together. We'll be rewarded.
For what? What have we accomplished?
Be careful.
Shut up. I already got my hair in a bun now. Come on.
Do as you're told.
He ain't. He gonna be stupid. Ask too many questions. He's with a dog with a bone. He gonna put on a red shirt.
Thank you, Cloris.
Are you planning to go to the office?
Mon Mothma. There she is.
Eventually.
They got a pretty dresses
Lovely
on.
out. I'm sure we'll walk.
It's just they're asking for schedules this week, parking and movement.
Who's asking?
Senate security.
Oh, ridiculous. I'll speak to them.
Man, we don't trust you, bro.
I'm requesting a new driver.
Don't. They might send someone smart.
Yep.
We leave from Gorman again this morning with reports of another
Don't.
attack
They might send
overnight.
someone smart.
Only bad news for the Gormans. I'm afraid we're near the point of no return.
How can I help?
Turn back the clock. Send everyone home.
Oh, I wish I could make that so.
That ain't happening.
This bombing last night.
They have no shame, do they? They don't even bother to lie badly anymore. I suppose that's the final humiliation.
We're assembling a petition, and I know how sad that must sound.
It takes more than failed legislation to upset me these days. I came here to thank you, Mon. Your constant courage, the brave face you put to the world. I've done a poor job letting you know how much I admire your grace. Protect yourself.
It's a real talk right there. Girl, you're gonna get this pretty cream colored clothes dirty.
We're wearing a camo version of that. Better chill out.
Yep.
Nashmik regulo.
I wonder, we're gonna have to see what happens to her in between now and Rogue One.
Trangor.
Fantalesk bimukar bivultekat.
Nash croc vu l'enfant. C'est le mousticor et le brave.
Dalam bivek fikembro. Ten fikumo skube. Mo fik skube. Na bibonan simnash godalo.
Ten mig me bord. Cum tem biet d'optical ceux qui entend mas trépoche.
Lide! Gonvul, smat simnash. Nash lurg. Pse bifem madal. Nash trompinte. Au soit dial. Tem d'abord. Salums. Sinklaj.
Everybody got a part to play.
Nash bidumgor. Dilan molen walai. Mokum kozma la bif madal.
I love when people say words and just shame people. And he didn't have to get out of pocket. He didn't have to cuss at him. He didn't have to threaten nobody.
You could have just asked me.
You would have said no.
Then what are we doing here?
What's the harm?
You're lucky Marva's not here.
I'm not the one she'd be straining out.
She hated Force
She
healers.
hated one Force healer 10 years ago.
One was enough.
Doesn't mean the whole thing's a scam. They wouldn't be faking something if it never worked.
Why not? What does that even mean?
You know what I don't understand? If I was in pain, I'd try to do everything I could to fix it. You just run around pretending like nothing's wrong and everyone knows it's not true.
What is this?
You didn't sound like when you was a crackhead.
I don't know.
You set this up.
No.
Just saying.
Who are you?
I was just walking home. We're just leaving.
Can you wait, please?
Have we seen her before?
I was about to ask how I know
And she's
you,
a Force healer, so, you know, that's something we've seen very little of.
He's got a blaster burn that's not healing.
Your right shoulder.
Tell her.
Yes.
May I?
So I can feel it.
Let me put
Nah,
these
I'm definitely
midichlorians on you
Force.
real quick.
Yeah.
First time we've seen the Force in this series so far.
And she's a Force healer, which is something that has been widely disputed amongst a lot of fans.
Thank you.
Thank you for what?
The clarity, that feeling. It's been a very long time. I thought it had gone for good. So easy to lose faith. They come no matter what. Sometimes it even works, but this... You, all that you've been gathering, the strength of spirit. Surely you must feel it.
I'll work on that. Come back and let you know.
You saw something.
Why do you keep pushing?
Why are you so upset?
I asked you not to do this. Stay if you want.
She know he's special.
I'm sorry.
It's not easy to do.
Who is he?
A pilot. Soldier. Tell me what you saw.
I sense the weight of things. Things I can't see. Pain, fear. Most beings carry the things that shaped them. They carry the past. But some, very few, your pilot. They're gathering as they go. There's a purpose to it. He's a messenger. There's some place he needs to be. Have you known him long?
I don't remember not knowing him.
Maybe you're the place he needs to be.
Was going to be absolutely true before little buddy rolled up and messed it all up.
So how you feeling about our first look at the Force in this series?
I mean, I'm okay with it, but
okay,
it's going to be way past controversial. So
Tenza,
There's a curfew.
I needed to see you.
that's why they gave us the Force without giving us the Force.
My people are convinced you're being coordinated by outside agitators.
I called it, Rekkai. He might be
We could
going
lay this off on outsiders.
doing
then-
too much. Oh, dang. All in your jaws.
Girl, tell him leave us alone. He gonna get this red shirt. He determined. He about to get a birthday party.
Yeah, it's healed up a little bit. Yeah. The mojo work a little bit.
It's better,
He
isn't
ain't
it?
gonna barely touch him.
That must be confusing.
He been gathering strength as he go.
She asked me who you were. I said you were a pilot.
Don't tell people what I do.
What happened when she touched you?
She's a cook in the mess hall.
And you're more than a pilot.
It's ridiculous.
She knew you were there. She felt it from across the yard. She wasn't making that up. That wasn't a scam.
What was it then?
I don't know. I don't even think she knows. She called you a messenger. I've had dreams like that.
Why are you doing this?
What if it's important? I know you felt something. That's why you're so upset.
Because you need to stand in your greatness, brother.
Imposter syndrome.
Let it in.
I know you felt something. That's why you so upset.
It could only be good. There's no other reason.
That's right, sister. Tell him to stand in that light.
He was just walking around. He just commanding the rebel base. Oh, no, that's not Luther. That's the other dude.
He walked like he in charge, though.
Yeah, he do. He got that in charge walk.
So listen,
We find an exit plan.
without a destination.
It's a personal trip.
The ship's to be fitted with hypercoms tomorrow.
Back soon.
That is unacceptable, and you know it. This isn't a base for privateers.
All set?
Clear! Those who enjoy the security of Yavin must proclaim their loyalties.
The day I need permission to come and go, I'm gone.
That day is near.
Hey, boy.
Man, watch out, bro.
Yeah.
You get this backwash from these thrusters. Fall back, bro.
So Cassian is supposed to be our Han Solo type.
Fall out! Quick time!
Sergeant?
Sir?
No, they're not elite.
Get
though.
theyese men shaped up and
Yeah.
ready for President.
No, they're fresh out of boot.
Yeah.
He's got a number of units coming in today.
Attention! Left! Turn!
They look like children.
Quick! March!
Not children. Who do you think gonna fight this war?
Talk to me.
1200 at the mark. What are you doing? What? Look where you're going.
You said come in low, right?
Stop messing with him, dog.
But Cass is like, he knows that he's not getting the whole story. You're not telling me everything.
Nah, man, my drawers is full.
Is that the same ship he's got in Rogue One?
I don't know. That's a good question.
They need him, Biggs. They're on the verge of promoting him, and then he goes and does something like this morning. I know how deeply you believe in what we're doing. We're not Luthen's puppets anymore. We're not a bunch of maniacs running around Aldhani. We're building a real army. Cassian is a leader now. A little discipline doesn't seem too much to ask.
He'll be there when you need him.
I'll pass that along.
Okay, we have had a whole lot of talky. Let's blow some shit up or let's kill somebody. Hell.
The locals say she's on the plaza once or twice a day. She's easy to spot. She doesn't stay in your place very long. Here comes my guy.
Comes first thing.
Ferrix.
Stoneman's guy.
The guy he just left with was a guy who was real upset at the little rebel meeting on this planet.
Okay.
Here.
Tell me, little buddy, the red shirt, the Detra's boyfriend.
Mid-Rimnius.
Yeah.
He gonna see Cassian. And
I think so too.
He was probably about to let it go. He gonna see Cassian and be like, oh.
I have a room at the front facing the plaza.
Perfect.
Most guests don't say that anymore. It can be loud.
I'm a deep sleeper.
She will report it. We turn over our guest list each afternoon.
I see you.
Good to know.
You'll have to carry your own bag this time. Another way.
Remember they met before, right? Remember he told him the story about how his family was killed in the plaza?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when he was fronting.
Yeah, he said,
yeah. Cassian was fronting as a art dealer or whatever the hell he was. Yeah.
Sure enough. That's not the same girl from the little farm planet, is it?
Is this the weather center?
No, I gotta look again.
We'll be updating the forecast at first light.
I'll make sure to listen.
Top your ass.
All right, that was episode 7 of Andor. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're gonna see a cut down version of our reaction because we're only allowed to show you a limited amount of picture-in-picture. But if you wanna watch the whole thing with us uncut, uninterrupted, head over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/Syntell. Become a member of this channel. you'll get access to the full uncut reaction, but you will need your own Netflix, HBO Max, or Disney Plus subscription, so you can open up each episode in an adjacent window to our reaction. We'll give you a little time with a small reference video at the bottom of the screen to help you sync up the footage. And it'll be like you're watching it with your favorite pals from the internet. The first of a 3-part release that Disney has done with the Andor series. I was saying earlier that I do feel that you do need to do a 3-part release for this type of storytelling, because so much is happening. It's so thick and rich with the moving of all of these chess pieces that in order to feel some type of satisfaction, you want some kind of answers being questioned, and some kind of answers to some of the questions that you're making. And I don't know if this series has the type of staying power that you can wait a week for that next that answer. So I do applaud Disney for doing this. It's still a little jarring at times. I'm not always a fan of the 3-part release, but the more this series moves forward, the more I feel it's essential. How are you feeling so far about episode 7?
What? Are we watching something? What's going on? Where am I? Bro. They're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. Oh my God. This season started off with promise. And they pull you in with the pilot or whatever, the first episodes to reel you back in, to get you back into the story. Okay, so we're back in. But then it meanders again. Episode 3, it comes back with something. You're like, oh, all right. Okay, now we're going to get to it. And then episode 4 and 5 just walk right off the cliff. They just unalive themselves. Episode 6, they crawl back out the creek, off the cliff, and they okay. We got some action. We look like we're going somewhere. And then you got this episode that bored me to sleep again. Now, I understand that you have to put things in place, that you have to set up the chess pieces. I mean, we've done time jumps. We've done all this stuff. And for this to be political intrigue, I'm getting political. I'm not getting intrigue. I'm not getting suspense. I'm not getting thrills. I'm barely even getting drama. This is, right now, this is a story by the world's most boring storyteller. Right now, I think the dude who wrote this, the last job he had, the last thing he wrote was Bueller. So.
I appreciate that. I know those that are waiting to the very end to hear what me and Rekkai have to say, because we certainly have 2 totally different opinions regarding this project. I love it. I think it's great. I appreciate the time. It's like, it does feel very War and Peace. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like it doesn't. War and Peace is probably one of the thickest books I'd ever seen in my entire life until I was introduced to the kids reading Harry Potter. It's a lot of setups, a lot of different opinions from different leaders from different countries, but there's a grand design. It's a full-blown, gigantic mural of why this Star Wars universe exists, and oftentimes I feel that when it comes to Star Wars content, we're used to seeing just this one picture that's flashy and a lot of stuff happening, and we get our dopamine rush off of it, and then we move on to the next one. This one feels more like one of those paintings where you look at it from far away, it's going to be very beautiful, but every episode that we're seeing is us looking at the little dots that have been put on the painting. And you have to appreciate those little dots in order to fully appreciate the painting when you pull back and look at the bigger picture. I do get and fully understand why this isn't for everybody. I get it. I mean, 110% do get it, and I do empathize with you, Rekkai, when it comes to this. But for those of us that are seeing the chess side of this game, we do have appreciation for the checkers of Star Wars. I appreciate the checkers of Star Wars because that's what sold me. That's what I grew up on, was the checkers of Star Wars. This is not that. This is chess. And there's a lot of pieces that have to be moved, looking 4 and 5 moves down the line. And you kind of just gotta allow the story to breathe what you know is going to be what the possibilities are. We already know how the ending is. We know how this ends. So I do appreciate the intricacies of the understanding of the why, what it took for Andor to make some of these decisions, why he's the reluctant leader, why his sacrifice when you get a chance to watch, if you haven't already, Rogue One, why it is so pivotal. For those that are watching this with us, that are enjoying the original old school version of how Star Wars storytelling is this still moving you? For those that really loved season 1, is this a fall from grace from the first season? Because this season does feel slower than season 1. I will admit that as well. But are you still on board? Is the little dots that we're looking at satisfying you enough so that when you look at the grand big picture, you can really soak in its beauty? Rekkai, I'll allow you the final retort, because I think your response is far more entertaining than even mine. Even me explaining this can feel a little taxing, and for people that are watching this, I'm sure you probably feel bored by my explanation as well. Rekkai, your final thought.
The thing is, anybody who knows me knows. I mean, listen. I am a Star Wars fan.
Yes, you are.
And
I will co-sign that with you. You are.
Like they are letting me down.
Okay.
It's almost been like everything outside of what they have done on an animated scale has been different levels of failure. There are things that I like that other people didn't like. There are things that I thought were mid but decent that other people thought were absolute garbage. Okay. I want this to win. I like that we're telling a different type of story, because there's so many people in the galaxy that never even seen a Jedi, don't have any idea about a Jedi or Sith. Just know there's good guys and bad guys. Right now, the Empire's the bad guy. We hear about some other people, the rebels or whatever, but I don't know nothing about them people. The rebels to me are the peoples of soldiers on the ground, like Cassian Andor. He's a rebel. He's what signifies the rebel in a rebel cause, not Luke Skywalker, single-handedly taking down everybody. None of that. And we're not even there yet. So we are introduced to the Force in this particular episode, a Force healer, which came under great controversy, because it was for those people who consider themselves purists. It was not introduced in the original trilogy, and Force healing was something that was introduced in what we now call Legends, which is all the books and things that people wrote that are not considered part of canon, the extended universe, what have you. So to bring it back in, Force healer, it now makes it canon, but a lot of people have problems with it, because it's like, well, if Luke couldn't do it, if Yoda wasn't doing it, and didn't Yoda had all the power of all, he was one of the most powerful Jedis. If you didn't see him, Mr. Miyagi, that thing, like, you know what I'm saying? Then it's not real. And here's the thing that I think is so interesting, and people, their logic is so flawed, and it's okay. When we caught up with episodes 4, 5, and 6, we caught the Jedis when they were down bad. They were at one of the worst. There was a few only left in the galaxy. You had Luke, you had Yoda. We come later to find out that Leia got a little bit of that kicking up in her. And there's a few other people scattered out here, but they keeping it on wraps, because they don't know if, Inquisitors or the Sith or whoever coming looking for them. So they kept that on hush-hush.
All right.
Luke didn't get formal training or any of that. So, of course, we saw something that didn't exist because he didn't have that power. So people can be like, oh, okay, well, what about in the prequels? There was a bunch of Jedi. They had a whole Jedi, the Academy, the Jedi Temple. We didn't see nobody with Force powers. No, the people that we followed, we didn't see them doing Force healing per se. Okay. Part of the problem is when it was introduced to us, even though it's been part of the legends for a long time that there have been Jedis available to do a different number of powers, like Voss Quinlan, who could touch things and tell its entire story, whose hands it's touched, where it's been through the Force. He could touch any item and know exactly where it's been, who touched it, right? Mm-hmm. We didn't see that for real. They never alluded to that in the movies. It's barely inferred in one of the movies. There's been a bunch of powers that different Jedis have that are in canon or in the extended universe that people don't rock with because they don't know that. They've not read any of the novels. They read the comic books. They ain't played the games. They ain't watched the animated. They don't know. So when it is finally introduced to mainstream, it's introduced in the most hated way with the most hated people. Rey, she woke up yesterday, considered herself a Jedi. She's a Palpatine, but no, she's a Skywalker. She's just doing stuff. She's been training as a Jedi for 19 minutes. She's pulling Star Destroyers out the sky and shit. She's just doing wild shit. Them sequels that don't actually even exist. I don't even know why I'm talking about things that don't exist. But that's how this power was introduced to most people, and they don't like it. And I get it. There's so many problems with those movies. I get it. But it's here. It is. Am I going to nitpick that one little thing? No. It's like they were so clever in this that they showed it to us without showing it to us. She healed him through the Force, but she touched him for a second. She told a little story about, who he was, and you could pick up on the context clues that, the Force told her about this, and he's important, and he picks up his strength as he goes, and he's, welling up his energy reserves because he has an important purpose. He's a messenger. He's here to do something. Now, we know what that is because he came through in Rogue One. We know what his purpose is. We know his end game.
Yeah.
So it made her sound like she's wise. Ooh, she got the Force. But they didn't even show us anything. We showed him the next day. His burn mark is healed a little bit. That was super clever to show us the Force without showing us shit. That is the best use of the special effects department I've ever seen for Star Wars.
I'm glad that they didn't show it because we've been grounded in a very real environment. We haven't dealt with the fantastical in Andor at all. And I think the writers and the showrunners are doing that as a way to be like, it's human elements that form rebellion, not praying to some mystic force or whatever it is.
I am okay with that. As a matter of fact, I like that they did that because it's like, because really, if most people don't understand that the Force itself, the Jedi and the Sith are two religious orders. And they're not the only religious orders. They're just the two that we focus on in this particular world. So if you take it, to be at, and I'm not going to say that because that sounds wrong, because that sounds like one is good and one is evil. So, but if you take two major world religious orders and put them at odds with each other, that's what it sounds. And that they can't agree on calling the same thing. We both use the Force, but we believe that you do this with the Force. Well, we believe you do this with the Force. Well, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. Or whatever. And it's easy to line up with the Jedis. They're the good guys. Okay, are they? I don't know. The reason why this is hard for me, and I'm going to stop talking. The reason why this is hard for me to watch is because you're absolutely right. We got lured in with checkers, space wizards, and laser swords, space battles, and I absolutely love it.
Absolutely.
But we also, behind the scenes, at least through the first 6 episodes, we saw that somebody was playing chess. Just everybody else didn't know that they was not playing the same game that Palpatine was playing. He was playing chess. He was playing a whole different kind of chess. He's one of the greatest villains in cinema history because he was playing a whole different level of chess. I'm okay with them playing chess in this, but it doesn't seem like chess. It seems like just a long, drawn-out version of checkers. It does not seem like chess. For instance, we're watching some other things. We're watching a Guy Ritchie property right now called Bobland.
Yeah.
2 warring mafia, crime families. They are playing chess. And they give us the right amount of tension, of, action in almost every episode. And they move the story along.
Right.
This is Star Wars. Why can we not do that? This is Star Wars.
Brother, I feel your pain. I do. I understand it, man. I understand your pain. I do. I really do. And that's why I'm not mad or even, bucking back at people that have an issue with it. Because I see it. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I don't see it. I do. I do see it.
I want so much more for this. I love the grounded approach, because I've often thought, what are the rest of people in the world doing? You know, like, I understand that you got to show that Empire is evil and doing some evil shit to get people on their side enough to forsake their safe, even if it's oppressed life, to be, you know, what the hell with this, I'm going to rebel. I'm going to do some shit that may get me killed, because the promise is on the other side. It may make things better for all of us. That is not an easy thing to ask at all. You know, we had this talk last episode about Luthen and what he was talking about. You know, people don't understand. You know, right here, they said, old girl came to Bix and was like, Cassian, he's a leader. We was about to promote him, and then he go and do this. Listen, he's not there yet. Because it takes a different type of resolve. It takes a different type of attitude on, because especially you get promoted, now you're a leader of men. And where you're used to being out here operating alone, doing what you do, coming and going as you please, but you know, you fulfill the mission or whatever. Now you're a general. Now you stay in the back and you tell other people what the mission is and what needs to be done. You play the type of chess that Luthen's playing. Luthen playing chess. Make no mistakes about it. Luthen is playing a whole different, he is playing a Palpatine level chess. He is putting people in, and you know, doing reverse psychology on people. He's doing all sorts of stuff, because what's important is the mission. What's important is the cause. None of that. You're expendable. I'm expendable. The cause is what the only thing is important. Cassian ain't about that life. And that's what the Force Seal was trying to tell him. He's gathering the courage, the strength, the faith to keep moving on as he goes.
Preach.
And I think the worst thing that's going to happen, and we know it's going to happen in the next 5 episodes, because we didn't see her in Rogue One at all. If something happens to Bix, and I think that's when he's going to be like, he don't give a damn no more. Whatever, what you need me to do? Suicide mission, sign me up. I don't care. You know, and we know how important that suicide mission is, that probably nobody else would volunteer for, nobody wanted, because it's like, no, that shit sounds crazy as hell.
Yeah.
But because he had nothing left to lose, and maybe that's what we're building towards. I just wish the way in which we build, we are doing a whole lot of talky, and I think we said this last time, that, you know, we set the table, and we don't get to eat. I'm hungry. We did this in Daredevil. Oh my God, it took forever to let us eat. Just let us eat, baby. Let us eat. That are hungry.
Oh, yo, I think that's a good place to call it quits on this particular episode. I can't wait to see what you all say in the chat, because the conversation has been interesting. There's a lot on both sides of the fence. We still have a whole lot of this story left to tell, rolling episode 7, and I think it's like 12 episodes in the entire season. Make sure you check in with us. Sorry, I'm getting my thoughts together because I'm processing what you're saying. Listen, if you've been enjoying the conversation in the way that me and Rekkai go back and forth, even when we disagree, I love it, because it's some interesting perspective. And if you enjoy that level of back and forth, and especially if you're reciting on how Rekkai is processing all of these things in Andor, even if you're not, you should absolutely head over to his YouTube channel to figure out why his thought process like this. He gives these amazing deep dives that pull the layers back on these shows that we love, so that you can get a better understanding of the intricacies of why we love this content. I promise you it is worth your time. Rekkai, tell the people how they can get in contact with you.
If you would like to come over and hear some of my deep dives a little bit earlier than what I normally try to get them out there on YouTube, come by my patreon.com. I'm still working on getting more exclusive content to my wonderful patrons. I love them, each and every one of them. But, you know, that sprinkle a few shekels on me just to hear me talk my shit. So I love it. If that's not your thing, come by youtube.com/Nupe from the Ville, NUPEFROMDABILLE. Don't worry if I said it too fast. It will be in the description. Remember, everything that we talk about, you heard me. I try to use this. I really do. But it's more important that we also use this. Thank you, Chef.
Hey, thank you, Chef. And thank you for hanging out with us. And we'll catch you on the next episode. All right, y'all. Take care.